You've mastered your craft, your calendar is full, but your content, it's not pulling in the kind of clients that you know that you're ready for. So let's fix that. In this special live, I'm showing you 3 reasons why your followers aren't buying and how you can fix number 2 really fast. So thank you so much for joining me today. Today, again, I'm talking about 3 reasons why your followers aren't buying from you and how you can fix number 2 really fast. This live is for coaches where you already have a following on social media. You have a following on Instagram, on TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, you name it, but you don't know how to convert your followers into customers. I'm going to show you how you can do that on this live. This live is also for the ambitious business owner where you're capped between 8 to 10K months. You're currently getting sales through word of mouth and referrals, and you want to know how you can use social media in order for you to reach a larger audience so that now you can be able to get your sales. If as you're coming in right now, I am going to ask you to double tap on that screen and to share this live out. The more that you engage on social media with me, the more that social media sees it and pushes the live out and invites others into the room. So as you're coming in, again, I ask you to spread the word, share this live out, like this video so that others will be able to engage and join as well. And again, this live, this is a special live that I'm doing, and it is for business owners where you have a following, but you're not really sure how to convert those followers into customers. I'm going to show you 3 reasons your followers aren't buying from you and how you can fix that. So who am I? I'm Shamara Star Cox, TV producer and marketing coach. My goal is to help 6 and 7-figure business owners get seen and get paid by creating binge-worthy videos on social media. And in this live, I'm going to show you how you can fix why your followers aren't buying from you so that now when you put it into action, they'll actually start buying from you. I like to have fun on these lives. I love to teach these lives like they are masterclasses. Why is that? Because I know what it's like to follow this guru and that guru, to YouTube everything and not even see a shift in your content strategy. So instead, I cut all the fluff out and I show you exactly what's working and what's not working. As you're coming in and you are brave enough, you can feel free to drop your questions in the chat. I am happy to answer your questions for you. You can drop comments in the chat. If I say something that really resonates with you, just let me know. You can shout it back out to me because I like to read the comments out loud as well. Now, if you are a business owner and you're joining me, feel free to drop the name of your business in the chat so I can go ahead and shout you out. If you're not a business owner, but you want to stick around because you want to be motivated, you can feel free to drop the name of the city that you are tuning in from or the country that you're tuning in from so I can go ahead and shout you out as well. I am in New York City. It is 9:04 in the morning, a beautiful summer morning. Right? So again, thank you all for joining me today. If you are a business owner, drop the name of your business in the chat so I can shout you out. If you are not a business owner, you can drop the name of your city or state or country that you're in so I can shout you out as well. So here's a couple of things that I want you to do because I love teaching my lives again like they are master classes. Therefore, grab your notebook, grab your pen, take note, take action, make some money. Why? Because action takers are money makers, not time wasters. We're going to be together today for about an hour. I'm going to be dropping a lot of gems to help you transform your content so that now when your followers see your content, they actually want to buy. And if you have any questions, if you've been posting on social media for the last 3 months, 4 months, even the last 2 years, and you recognize that your audience is not really buying from you, go ahead and ask me a question. I'll feel free to answer it for you so that you can get help. So let's get into this today. I want to share a quick story with you. And then after the story, I'm going to go ahead and give you some tips. Hey, Melissa, thanks for joining us. So we have Melissa Schultz Ministries in Wisconsin. Thank you so much. Shout out to Melissa. If we have any other business owners, feel free to drop your name, your business name in the chat, and I will go ahead and shout you out. As you're coming in right now, I'm going to share a story and then I'm going to give you the 3 reasons your followers aren't buying. If you recognize that you have been telling people to head to your bio so that they can buy, the clicks on your website is going up, but the checkout cart is not, I'm going to show you exactly why it's not. If you have been putting out videos asking for the sale and all you're hearing is, I cannot afford, or check back with me in 7 months, I'm going to show you why your audience is telling you that and how you can fix that. If you're accustomed to getting sales through word of mouth and referrals, and now it feels foreign selling online through video, I'm going to show you how you can shift that as well, so that now when you're putting out your video content, you're actually attracting the people who want to buy from you, and they're actually buying, right? So let's get into this story, and then I'm gonna give you the 3 reasons your followers aren't buying. And again, as you're in here now, share this live out. Don't keep it to yourself. All you have to do is hit the arrow at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen and invite 20 of your people, 20 of your friends into this live. The reason why I'm asking you to do this is because the more that you engage with me, the more that social media will push it out. But not only that, there is a law called the law of sowing and reaping. So if you're recognizing that you're going live, you're putting out content, and barely anyone is engaging with you, chances are you're getting what you are not, you're getting what you're putting out. You're sowing, you're reaping what you're sowing, right? You're not engaging with others, you're not sharing their stuff. So therefore, you're attracting that same type of energy. If you want to break that energy, then you can get started on this live by sharing it out, engaging, dropping your comments, and then you'll start to see a shift in your content as well. So let's get into this today. So I have a friend where she went live, right? And in the moment of her going live, she was nervous. How many of you have ever gone through that before, where you're nervous to go live because you think, what if no one shows up? Or you're nervous to go live because you think, what if people make fun of me? Or what if I embarrass myself, right? So this is where she was. She was thinking, you know what? I'm nervous to go live, but I'm going to do it anyway, even though there's a possible chance that no one was going to show up. And so she goes live, and she recognizes that only 5 people joined, just 5 people. And she had a choice. Do I hang up the live, or do I keep going live so that I can bless these 5 people? Do I talk to these 5 people as if there's hundreds of people in the room? That was her thought process. That was her choice. And she decided, you know what? I'm just going to keep talking, and I'm going to bless these 5 people in the room as if there are hundreds of people. How many of you would have just gotten off the live if you saw 0, if you saw 2 people, if you saw 5 people in the live? How many of you would have just been like, forget it, it's not worth it, right? So this is where she was, but she decided, I'm going to keep going live anyway. And so she went live and she blessed her audience. She taught them something amazing. They absolutely loved it, right? And then when she got off, she got a phone call. And her friends, when the person who called her said, your live was so amazing. It changed me and 500 people in my 500 people's lives. And my friend was like, 500 people? There was only 5 people on the live. And her friend said, no. I actually put my phone up in our office. And in our office, there was 500 people there. And we all watched your live, and we did what it was that you told us to do. And it was such a blessing. And my friend was blown away. Now, why did I share this story? Because social media is the best way for you to multiply your impact. Right now, you're putting out your content, you're probably getting 100 views. You're going live, you're probably seeing 5 people on it, but you have no idea the true impact that you are making when you're showing up. You're thinking it's just 5 people, but it may be 500 people who's actually seeing your content. You're thinking to yourself, not enough people are seeing this. I should be reaching more people, but you are. The numbers that you're seeing right now is not the true reflection of the impact that you are making. I remember going through a phase where I would put out my content and I'm wondering, is anyone even seeing this? Is anyone even liking this? And do you know how many people will come to me and tell me, you've blessed me so much. This is how much money I made from your content. This is how many leads I was able to get with the strategy that you gave me. And that's because I stopped looking at the numbers. Now, I'm not going to front. Looking at the numbers can make you feel like you're inadequate. If you go live and only see 2 people on, or sometimes 0 people on, it can make you feel like, man, what's the point in me doing this? But my friend decided, I'm going to keep going live. I'm going to show up anyway. I'm going to talk as if there's hundreds and thousands of people in the room. And little did she know that someone actually had the phone up in the office so that 500 other people could see it. You have no idea who's seeing your content right now. You have no idea who's watching, who is in need of your services. And while you're thinking, man, this is not enough people, the people who are seeing you are actually being blessed. So, my question to you is, will you keep showing up or will you keep playing small? Because my friend could have allowed that to stop her, but instead she said, I'm going to show up anyway. There were times that I showed up and nobody was on my live. This actually happened to me about, I think, 4 weeks ago, or maybe 5 weeks ago. I went live and I was live for 35 minutes on all four platforms. And do you know that on all four platforms, nobody was on? I saw 0 people on for 35 minutes. I'm getting hot in here. Oh my goodness, right? For 35 minutes. And then towards the end of the live, that's when people started showing up. I don't know, maybe social media decided to start pushing my content then. But towards the end of the live, that's when people started showing up for my video. Do you know I made 2 sales that day? I made 2 sales that day. Nobody was on the live for 35 minutes. And finally, towards the end of my live, 2 people was on and they bought. Sometimes you think no one's watching, but in all actuality, there's a lot of people watching you. Don't get stuck by the numbers. Stay focused on the impact. Stay focused on the income that you are going to make. It could be hard because there may be a fear of being embarrassed. You may have a fear that you're going to make a mistake, that you're going to mess up. It may feel awkward talking to a video where it seems like no one's listening and no one's on, but in all actuality, they are listening and they're waiting to buy from you. I want you to imagine your dream clients finding you on social media, not just through referrals, not just through word of mouth. It's not about replacing what's working. It is about showing up in a space that people are waiting for you. The question is, are you ready to sell? Are you ready to invite them to work with you? If you want to know how you can create content that can sell in 5 days or less, if you want to know how you can show up in your videos confidently and be able to sell to your audience, to be able to serve your audience, then all you have to do, and then I want to invite you to join us in the AI Content to Cash Challenge. In this challenge, we show you how to create content that sells in 5 days or less. We show you how to create content faster with AI tools, but our main focus is to show you how to build a deep relationship with your audience. Why? Because they're waiting for you. It is your business, it is your service that's going to help them change their lives. But if you do not make an invitation for them to buy from you, then they're not going to know that you can help them. Hey, Black Pilots Corner, thank you so much for helping me. So again, if you want to join us in the AI Content to Cash Challenge, DM me the word challenge accepted, and I'll personally send you an invite to the challenge. If you are watching on YouTube right now, there are no DMs on YouTube, okay? So you can just go ahead and head to the website that's being displayed on the screen right now. But for those of you who are on a social media platform where there is DMs, you can feel free to DM me and I'll personally send you an invite to the challenge. So today, again, I'm talking about 3 reasons your followers aren't buying and how you can fix number 2 fast. So if you're taking notes, this is where you want to take your notes, right? Okay, so I'm going to give you the first reason. And the first reason, well, before I get into this first reason, let me read the pain point. So if you're constantly getting comments that say you're so inspiring, but not how can I buy from you, then this is the mistake you're making. So one more time, if you're constantly getting comments where your audience is telling you you're so inspiring, but they're not actually asking how they can buy from you, then this is the mistake you're making. You're motivating, you're not monetizing. You're motivating, you're not monetizing. So that is the first mistake. You're motivating, but you're not monetizing. Motivation is powerful. It makes people feel good in the moment. But here's the catch. The likes, the fireball emojis, the 100% emojis, they're not going to pay your bills. Inspiration is great, but it doesn't pay the bills. Unless you're a motivational speaker, then carry on, right? If your content is inspiring people, but you never show them how to buy from you, this is the reason why you're not getting sales. I see some of you on here, you're doing Motivation Mondays, Testimonial Tuesdays, Wisdom Wednesdays. That's nice and all, But at what point do you tell your audience how they can buy from you? If you're constantly motivating them, at what point do you get to monetize? Now, some of you are hearing this and you're like, but I like inspiring my audience. I like motivating them. That's totally fine. But here's how to fix going from just motivating to actually monetizing. And that is by um, diversifying your content. Diversify your content by putting out a sales video. You can post 1 to 2 sales videos a week, or you can do 1 to 2 lead generation videos a week, right? And now what happens is you shift your audience from only wanting to be inspired, from only wanting to be motivated, to actually seeing you as a business owner and wanting to buy from you. Right? So, how many of you in here, you know how to create a sales video or you know how to create a lead generation video? I'll drop a me in the chat if you know how to create a sales video, or drop a not yet in the chat if you don't know how to create it yet, right? We don't say no, we just say not yet. But I just want to do a quick poll. If you know how to create a sales video, drop a me in the chat. If you're not sure how to create it, drop a not yet in the chat so I can just see a quick poll. And as you're writing in the chat now, I want to give one of my clients example. One of my client, she is a former client, I should say. She is a full-time mom, full-time teacher, and she started a t-shirt brand. She joined my coaching program so that she could be able to sell her t-shirts, right? However, she was always motivating her audience. She recognized that it was when she inspired her audience that she can grow her following very quickly. And I told her, okay, great. We know that they can comment when you inspire them. We know that you tell powerful stories, but now it's time for you to sell to them so that we can see if you're building a loyal and buying audience. This was super important. Why is this important? Because loyal and engaged don't always equal paid. There are some of you in here where you have a loyal and engaged following, but you do not have a loyal and buying following. What's the difference? A loyal and engaged following will always comment and say, this is amazing. I love your content. It's wonderful. But a loyal and buying audience will say things like, how can I work with you? Are you taking new clients? One will increase the sales in your business. The other one will increase your following. Now, there's nothing wrong with growing your following, but as a business owner, you want to do both. You want to do both. Why? Because as a business owner on social media, the number one way that we make our money is by converting our followers into customers. So if you are not actually selling in your videos, what's going to happen is your audience is going to get accustomed to being motivated, but they will not be moved to invest in your services. They will not be moved to be transformed. So how do we shift that? How do we shift that? By putting out 1 to 2 sales videos a week or 1 to 2 lead generation videos a week. So that now you're not just filling up your audience with people who want to be motivated. You're not just filling up your audience with people who want to be inspired, but you're also filling up your audience with people who want to be transformed. Transformation always comes at a cost. Information is cheap. Information is what people can get on social media. They can get it on Google. But transformation, that's where they're able to get the result that they want. If you're a relationship coach, the transformation is you helping people to be able to live full and happy lives in their marriages, or get people from being single to being married. If you're a business coach, the transformation is helping people build 6-figure businesses. If you are a marketing coach, the transformation is helping people to be visible so that they can get paid more, right? So do you see the transformation? But the only way your audience will be able to get access to that transformation is if you invite them to buy from you, right? And so I want to give you an example. I didn't see anybody write in the chat. So I'm going to assume that everyone in here knows how to create a sales video, or you know how to create a lead generation video. And I don't really need to give you an example of that. But I do want to give you an example from one of my clients. A former client, her name is Jasmine. She's a full-time mom and a full-time artist. Now, when she first started working with me, she did not know how to get her audience to buy from her. She sells high-end art for Black women, or I should say, Black women who are executives, but they feel like they are the only ones in on their team. They're only ones in their space. And when I say only ones, I mean only Black people or I should say ethnic people in their space, right? And so she sells paintings so that they can hang them up in their office and actually feel like they are included as part of a community. But when she first started posting on social media, she did not know how to convert her followers into customers. So what did we do? We did two things. We helped her to clarify her message, and we showed her how to create sales videos. And guess what happened? She made 18 sales from one video. And that was just one time, 18 sales from one video. By the time she left our program, she said, Star, I now know what videos to post to get sales. So every time she wanted to get a sale, what did she do? She post her sales video. And that showed her that she didn't just grow a business, she didn't just grow a following where people are loyal and engaged. She grew a following where people were loyal and buying. Why is this important? How many of you have ever heard of that influencer? I don't know her name, right? But she grew a following to millions of followers. And then she launched a t-shirt line. And when she launched this t-shirt line to her following, nobody bought. How devastating is that to have thousands and hundreds of thousands of followers and nobody buys? And so what did she learn that day? That just because people follow you don't mean they're going to buy from you. You have to be strategic in growing your audience with buyers. And in order for you to do that, you actually got to put out 1 to 2 sales videos a week or 1 to 2 lead generation videos a week, right? Now, if you don't know how to create a sales video, but you want to know how to, then I want to invite you to join us in the AI Content to Cash Challenge. On day 4 of the challenge, that's all we do. We show you how to sell in your videos so that you can feel confident. But my question to you is, some of you in here, you're hearing me say, we show you how to sell in your videos. You're hearing me say, put out 1 to 2 sales videos a week, and you're already squirming in your seat. You're feeling icky just thinking about it, right? Your thoughts around selling is making you feel like, oh, I feel like I'm begging them for money. I feel like I'm chasing them down. I don't want to scare anyone off, right? And that's a mindset. That's a mindset. And that is actually the reason number 2 why your audience isn't buying from you is because you've trained your audience to expect free. You've trained your audience to expect free because in your mind, you feel icky selling to your audience. You feel like you're begging for them to pay you. You feel like you're chasing them. You feel like you don't want to lose followers if you ask for the sale. And guess what? That type of mindset is keeping your business small. Where 1 month you made $8,000, you could have actually made $15,000 in that month had you actually sold to your audience. There are some of you thinking, oh my goodness, nobody likes being sold to, but that's not true. We're being sold to every single day. The reality is people do not like being sold to badly. I mean, I can't stand a cheesy salesman. So if you come off like a cheesy salesman, guess what? People aren't going to buy. And if you're one of those business owners where you're constantly picking up your product and you're like, buy from me, buy from me, buy from me, guess what? They're not going to buy. Your sales videos is what strategically gets your audience to see, here's their problem, here's how you help them, and here's how they can work with you. That's what a sales video does. All it is an invitation for people to work with you. But if you are constantly putting out freebies, if you are constantly inspiring your audience, you're training your audience to expect free. And so how can you shift that, right? Well, in order to shift that, here's what I want you to understand. The ABCs of social selling. The ABCs of social selling is ABC, always be converting. Always be converting. That's the ABCs of social selling. When you're putting your content out on social media, you should be thinking about how many people am I converting today? And who am I converting today? If you don't know how many people you want to convert, guess what? You'll never actually convert. You'll constantly put out content that is actually inspiring your audience, even educating your audience. Because some of you are listening to me right now and you're like, well, I'm not inspiring my audience always. I'm also educating them. That's nice. But at what point do you let them know, here's how you can buy from me? Here's how we can work together. Here's how I can help you get the result that you desire. So what I want to show you is Signs that you are afraid to sell to your audience. Signs that you are afraid to sell to your audience. The last time I did this, I had a bunch of people sliding in my DMs like, oh my goodness, that's me to the T. Because some of you don't realize that you are afraid. Like some of you are listening right now and you're like, I'm not afraid. Just show me what to do, right? However, when I read these signs, you'll realize that you are afraid to sell to your audience because you've been constantly in this circle. So, signs that you are afraid to sell to your audience. If you're writing it down, you can write it down. If I read what one of the signs and it is you, you can just write me in the chat and I'll show you how to shift it. Right? I am going to give you a fix for this. All right. So the first sign that you are afraid to sell to your audience is you send one email a month because you don't want to bother your email list, right? So you send one email a month because you don't want to bother your email list. The thought of sending one email every day, the thought of selling one email a day turns your stomach because you think that's too much. Who's even going to open these emails and read it? Right? And so therefore for you, you only send one email a month. And that one email is your newsletter and it has all the updates on what you're doing for the month. That's it. And then your email list don't hear from you again. Right? So that's one sign. Who's doing that? Drop a me in the chat if that's you. One of you on here is like, I don't even have an email list. Okay. And that's the issue right there. Right. So you're sending one email a month because you don't want to bother your email list. That's the first sign that you're afraid to sell. The second sign that you're afraid to sell, you're obsessed with adding value and offering freebies. So instead of actually getting your audience to buy from you, you're constantly offering them freebies. This lead magnet, this freebie, and you're constantly creating lead magnets and freebies because in your mind, that's what you were told to do. In your mind, you were told when you put out content on social media, the next thing is to offer a freebie to your audience. So you've been doing that over the last 5 years. But how's that working out? You're growing your email list, but people aren't buying from your emails. And so now you have people just sitting on your email list, but they're not actually buying. Why? Because all you're doing is offering freebies. You have a freebie for every single offer. Every time you turn around, you're creating a new freebie. And guess what? You're training your audience not to buy with all the freebies that you have. But let me ask you this question. What if, just what if your content was a freebie? How would this shift you? What if the videos that you put out on social media was the freebie that you offered your audience? And now the next step was to offer them a low cost item to get on your email list. And by low cost item, this could be a lead magnet, but it is a paid lead magnet. How many of you have ever tried this before or would try this before? I would try this, I should say. There are some of you in here where you're like, I never thought to charge for a lead magnet. Absolutely. Why not? If you have been posting content over the last 2 years and you have a bank of content on social media, you can actually offer your audience a low cost item to join your email list. Your lead magnet could be $7. Your lead magnet could be $10. Why do I say this? Because your goal is to get your audience from watching to buying as quickly as possible. If you get your audience to watch you and then they go ahead and just download a freebie and then they sit on your email list for many years, that's not an accomplishment. I mean, it could be because after a while you can use that email list to sell. Not to sell, to what's the word? To help you get into conferences. That's cool, right? But you don't want to have a dead email list. And I've went through that. I've gone through that where I had 2,000 people on my email list and nobody was buying. It didn't matter how many sales emails I put out. It didn't matter how many campaigns or launches I had. They were not buying from the emails. So what did I do? I purged the email list. What was the point in selling to a dead email? It didn't make any sense, right? And that's what's happening to some of you. Some of you, you don't even know who's on your email. You're putting out emails, you're asking them to reply, you're telling them to fill out a survey, and they're not even responding. So you don't even know who's there. And that's because you trained your audience to expect free. So now they're just sitting on your email list. That's it, right? But if you shifted it and you actually started putting out content and your content was enough to bless your audience, you can then offer them a low cost item so that they can join your email list. So I want to give you an example. This happened to me, right? When I first started my business and I was working with my business coach, I went live. And from my live video, I offered my audience a free webinar. right? So I'm over here teaching my audience, and then I ask them, hey, if you want, I'm hosting a free webinar. You can join me at this webinar. When I got off the live, my business coach was like, why did you do that? She said, you don't go from free to free. They're already on your live video. Sell to them. And that opened my mind. Not only was I ignorant, but I was afraid. I was afraid to sell to my audience. Why? I didn't want to lose the viewership. I didn't want anyone to think I was begging. And I also had a poverty mindset. My poverty mindset told me that God didn't even want me to be rich. So why was I selling? And all of that was hindering me from actually selling to my audience. And it wasn't until I broke those mindsets off that I could confidently get on my live videos and tell my audience, if you want to work with me, here's how you can work with me. But what if you made the same shift? And let me tell you what the result was when I shifted from going from a free webinar, free live to a free webinar. The shift was I made $5,000 from one live video. I've made $1,200 in 2 hours. I've made $900 in 1 hour just from going live. Why? Because the live itself is already a free webinar or masterclass, because that's how I like to teach mine. I like to teach my lives like they're masterclasses. And then from here, the next step is to invite my audience to buy. You can use the same strategy. There are so many business owners who do it now. Does any of you know Myron Golden? You can just drop a yes in the chat if you know Myron Golden, right? So if you don't know, just drop a not yet. Our phones are always listening. So his YouTube videos will get pushed to you, by the way. But Myron, he is a phenomenal business coach, right? And he was my second business coach. And so you want to know how I started working with him? He was featured on someone's podcast, and what he was talking about really resonated with me. And then he offered his 5-day challenge. At the time, because of my poverty mindset, I thought, there's no way I can pay for that. It was $97, y'all. It was $97. And I was like, there's no way I can pay for that. It's just too much money, right? And that was his podcast episode. Then he went live with someone. And when he was live, he went live on his page. When he was live, he was selling his book. He was very strategic. He didn't just go live and inspire his audience. He didn't just go live and teach his audience. He went live, inspired, taught, shifted mindsets, and then he sold his book. His book was $40. And I thought to myself, I'm going to get this book. Immediately, he got me from freely watching his live to purchasing his book. That's the strategy. Instead of pushing your audience from free live to free webinar, go from live to actually selling them something. Go from live to inviting them into a space to work with you, right? Okay, I'm going to give you one more sign. I'm going to give you 2 more signs that you're afraid to sell. So I gave you 2 so far. I said you're sending 1 email a month because you don't want to bother your email list. You're obsessed with adding value and giving away freebies. So every time you turn around, you're offering your audience a freebie so that they get on your email list. The third sign is that you're only relying on people commenting, how can I buy from you, before you actually engage with them. So instead of you going through your followers and actually having conversations with them to see if they want to buy from you, you're waiting for them to actually comment, how can I buy from you? And so in your waiting, you're losing out on sales, because there are people in your audience where they are ready to buy, but they are lurkers. They are lurkers. I would tell you right now, I've had the same exact experience. I've had people in my audience where all they do is lurk. They don't buy. And there's nothing wrong with lurkers. Some of you, you feel adverse about having people lurking on your page. There's nothing wrong with them. The goal is to get your lurkers to go from just lurking to actually buying from you. And there's a strategic way to do that. And that's by having conversation with them. There's 2 ways. One is by having conversation. The other way is by clearly letting them know how they can buy from you in your videos. I've had people go from just watching my videos to investing $597. Just that. Never booked a call, never commented, just watched the video and invested. Just why someone else told me when he joined my challenge, he said, all I did was watch your video. He watched my videos for 2 years and then joined the challenge. Never commented, never sent in my DMs, nothing. So you have people now where they are watching your videos, but because you are not clear on how you can help them, they haven't invested yet. So now you're thinking your social media page is dead because no one's buying, but in all actuality, they're ready to buy. Just tell them how and be super clear in you telling them how to buy. All right. So I'm giving you 4 signs that you're afraid to sell. The first one was you're sending 1 email a month to your email list. You're obsessed with only giving away freebies. You're only waiting for your audience to comment on your page before you actually sell to them. And the fourth one is you're afraid to slide in someone's DMs. You're afraid to slide in someone's DMs. In your mind, it feels icky. This feels gross. And I know it because I felt that way too. And I'm not talking about cold DMs. I'm not talking to people who don't know you and they're not following you. I've tried that before. It sucks, by the way. It absolutely sucks. It does feel icky and it feels weird. So I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about warm DMs. I'm talking about the people who are already watching you, the people who've already been engaging with you, the people who's watching your live videos when you go live, sliding into their DMs, right? So I'm going to give you 2 examples. One example, how I was able to book one of my best clients. I talk about her all the time. Her name is Christina. She's a career coach, right? When she before she started working with me, she only had 474 followers. After she was done working with me, she has over 40,000 followers. She had 300 new email subscribers. She had 10 sales and 18 discovery calls. She was booked up for 2 months, right? I just said her results like that's normal. Like this happens on a daily basis, right? Just so normal. But I want you to think about how she wouldn't have been able to get those results if we didn't work together. But how did we start working together? I posted video content and she commented on one of my videos. She didn't say, how can I buy? She just commented. She just liked what I said. And what did I do? I slid in her DMs and I started a conversation with her. That's what I did. I started a conversation with her. It was organic. And the conversation was so organic that I asked her, hey, do you want to hop on a call so I can show you how I can help you? And she said yes. And she hopped on the call. I showed her how we can help her. And she bought in that moment. She purchased in that moment. And what was the result? 1 year later, right? Because I'm not going to make it seem like it happened in 2 seconds. It didn't happen in 2 seconds. 1 year later, she was able to grow her following to over 40,000, 18 discovery calls, booked up for 2 months, 10 sales, 300 new email subscribers. But imagine if I waited for her to say, how can I buy from you? There are some of you where you're allowing your emotions around sales to hinder you from selling. There are some of you who are watching me now. You're great selling one-to-one. You're great selling on a Zoom call or in the room with people because you can read their energy. You can see their face. But in your videos, when it comes to selling, you can't see their face. You can't pick up on their energy. And so now it feels awkward. You feel like you're talking to yourself. In the challenge, we specialize in helping you to be able to sell one to many. That's the goal. One to many, even though you don't know who's in the room, right? So if you're like, that's exactly what I want, then join us in the AI Content to Cash Challenge because that's our goal. Our goal is to help you go from 6 figures to multiple 6 figures, from 6 figures to 7 figures. Our goal is to help you go from 40K months to 50K months to 70K months to 80K months with a marketing strategy online that doesn't take up any more of your energy, but instead it allows you to be authentic in your videos and reach your audience. If you're like, that's what I want, that's what I need, DM me the word challenge accepted so you can join us in the challenge. Now, here's the thing. We have 2 levels for the challenge. We have VIP and we have Diamond Experience. The first 5 people to sign up for VIP will get access to our AI Content Generator Pro. Now, why is this AI Content Generator Pro so amazing? Because if you're someone where you're constantly running out of content ideas, you get up, you start posting very strong the first 3 days of the week. And then after that, you're done. We don't see you again until 2 months because you're constantly running out of content ideas. If you're someone where you don't know what to say in your videos to get your audience to buy, you don't know what to say in your videos to get them to engage with you, you go live and you go live for 5 minutes because you don't know what to say. You wish you had a format. You wish you had a script. That's what this AI Content Generator Pro does. It writes your scripts for you so that you always know what to say, right? It'll give you the content ideas so that you never run out of ideas. And it will give you the video hooks so that you will always make your videos engaging. I had a former client reach out to me yesterday and she said, Star, I use the AI Content Generator Pro and it was perfect for helping me create my offer. It did exactly what I needed it to do so I can speak it to my audience and sell. That type of clarity. There are some of you, the reason why you're struggling on social media now is because you don't even know what to post. With the AI Content Generator Pro, we actually do the creating for you. We'll tell you these are your scripts, these are your captions, so that you don't have to figure it out on your own. Hey, Kwanda, honey, how you doing? So if you want to join us in the AI Content to Cash Challenge and get access to the AI Content Generator Pro, join us for the VIP experience. The VIP, the first 5 people to sign up for VIP experience are the ones who will be able to get the AI Content Generator Pro. Now, as I said, we have 2 levels, right? That was VIP, but we also have the Diamond Experience. The Diamond Experience is only for the business owners, the coaches, and the service providers who value exclusivity. You don't just want to be in the room, you want one-on-one attention. You want to be able to sit with an expert and not have to invest $20,000 just to do it. That's where the Diamond Experience comes in. Because when you sign up for Diamond, you get everything that's part of VIP, but then you also get the one-on-one elite content strategy session with me. And in this session is designed to do 2 things. The first one is to identify who your dream client is, and not just identify them, how to speak their language so that when you're talking in your videos, you're talking directly to the people who are ready to buy. And the second thing that we do is I personally show you what content to create. I give you your content strategy. So you no longer have to feel like you're throwing spaghetti at the wall. Instead, I'm actually showing you post this, say this, do this. When Keith and Vanessa joined us for the Diamond Experience, they were able to get this strategy session and they were so clear on what to say in their videos to get their audience to respond to them and to buy from them. Before, it felt like they were just talking just to talk. Now they're talking for sales. They're talking for sales. So my question to you is, are you ready to talk for sales? Are you ready to put out the content that converts? Or 1 month from now, do you still want to be sitting here wondering what content should I post? Do you still want to be sitting here wondering, does my audience even buy? Does social media even work for me? If you're like, nope, I don't want to be sitting here 1 month from now trying to figure it out, then join us in the AI Content to Cash Challenge, because that's where we help you. See, it's nice. I can help you on this live video, but right now what you're getting is the information piece. Some of you, the biggest part that you struggle with is the implementation piece, the execution. This is not your first coaching program. This is not your first challenge. Some of you had joined other challenges and boot camps, but you're still in the same position. Why? Because the coach went too fast for you. The teacher went too fast for you. You didn't know what questions to ask, so you didn't ask the questions. And now you feel like you're just collecting e-course after e-course after e-course and not actually putting it into action. In the challenge, it is designed to teach you and show you how to implement in that moment so you can get results in 5 days or less. The only reason why our clients are able to get results in 5 days or less is because they're taking action in the moment and we're showing them how to. In addition to us showing them how to, we're also auditing their video content. So we're showing them what's not working and how they can fix that. That is our goal. So if you're like, Star, I'm ready for that. I need that. DM me the word challenge accepted. I'll personally send you an invite. If you are watching on YouTube, all you have to do is head to this website that is displayed on the screen so that you can get access, right? Okay, so right now I'm talking about 3 reasons your followers aren't buying from you and how you can fix number 2 fast. So the first reason I gave you was because you're motivating, but you're not monetizing. So I showed you how to shift from just motivating your audience to also monetizing your audience by putting out sales videos. The second tip, and this is the one that you want to fix fast, is you've trained your audience to expect free. You've trained your audience to expect free. So now all they ever do is download your freebies. And then they sit on your email list and they don't actually buy from you. So how do you fix that fast, right? So I already gave you 4 signs that you're afraid to sell. So now I want to show you how you can fix this, how to fix this fast. The first thing you want to do is use call to actions that actually convert. Use call to actions that actually convert. When you're putting out your video content, you now need to use a call to action that's going to get your audience to take the next step. Now, some of you have heard this all the time. There's so many gurus out there telling you put call to actions in your videos. Some of you forget to do it. Some of you are doing it all the time. You're telling people like, comment, follow, share. The only problem is when you're giving out that many steps, it's too many steps and your audience is getting lost and they don't know which one to honor. Should they like, should they comment, should they follow, should they share? Instead, when you're putting out call to actions, you want to be intentional about them. Why? Because what is the purpose of a call to action? The purpose is to do two things. Is to train your audience to respond to you and train your audience to buy from you. That is the purpose of your call to actions. Train your audience to respond to you and train your audience to buy from you. So what do I mean by that? If you put out a video and you tell your audience to comment a specific word, your next thing is to see if they comment that specific word. If they don't, they're not trained to respond. Hey, Janine, honey, how you doing? They're not trained to respond. So what do you got to do? Your goal is to put out a series of content that tests your audience behavior so you can see what do they respond to? What do they respond to? Some of you don't know that. That's why you're putting out content now and all you're seeing are 2 comments. And one of those comments is from your best friend who just want to support you because you do not know your audience behavior and you don't know what gets them to respond. So what I do is I show you how do you get your audience to respond to you. And that is by telling stories. That is by telling stories. On day 2 of the challenge, we show you how to tell stories that get your audience to engage with you and to buy from you. Why? Because storytelling is what gets your audience to relate to you. This is something that Jesus did when he was growing his following, right? And so I love teaching Bible marketing secrets. And this is one of the tips that I always teach my clients. When Jesus was walking this earth, he had one mission. And that mission was to save the world. But he had a 2-part strategy to do that. And that 2-part strategy was to 1, grow his following, and 2, convert those followers into believers. That was his 2-part strategy. Grow his following, convert those followers into believers. Well, doesn't that sound like our strategy now on social media? I mean, like any great strategy on social media does 2 things. 1, grow their following, and 2, convert their followers into buyers. So we're just doing the same thing that Jesus did, right? So what are buyers? Buyers are believers who believe that you can help them get their transformation. So we're just doing the same strategy that Jesus did. We know it worked for him. Why? Because he was able to grow his following very largely that he became a threat in his own town. He became a threat in Rome. In Israel. He became a threat in Israel that they had to, I don't want to say they had to kill him. They had to hang him on a cross. That's what I'll say. They had to hang him on a cross. That's how much he became a threat. But not only did that work 2,000 years ago, it's still working today. There are still people who are following Jesus now and converting now. Still, right? So it's a timeless strategy. So it's the same strategy that we're using, and it can work for us too, right? But here's the thing. When Jesus was growing his following, one of the ways that he grew his following is that he told stories, he told parables, and those parables related to his audience. Not only did it relate to his audience, but it revealed information about the kingdom of heaven, right? But here's the truth. The kingdom of heaven was hard to grasp. It was hard to understand. So instead of Jesus using industry jargon to talk to his audience, instead he used relatable stories to talk to his audience. Some of you right now, the reason why your stories are not hitting is because you're using too much industry jargon. It's going over the heads of your audience. You're using too much insider information, too much insider language, and your audience has no idea what you're talking about. When you're putting out your stories, you want to tell stories that they can relate to. If you can tell stories about supermarkets, if you can tell stories about celebrities, if you can use Bible stories if you want. You can use stories from your own life if you want. Your story should be relatable enough for your audience to be like, oh, I totally understand that. That's exactly what I'm going through. Okay, now I see how you can help me. But if your audience is not doing that, then guess what? You're not telling stories that actually sell. And you're not telling stories that will get your audience to engage. So I want to give an example from Jasmine again. Jasmine is the full-time mom and she's the artist. She sells high-end art, right? I told you that by the time she left our program, she knew what content to post to get her sales. But what I didn't tell you is she also knew what content to post to grow her following. And she also knew what content to post to get her engagement up, right? To get people to comment on her page. And so what did she do? She told stories. She told powerful stories while she painted her art. That's what she did. And because she did that, she was able to grow her following and she was able to always get her audience to comment. So what stories can you tell your audience that will get them to comment on your videos? That will get them to engage with you so that now you're training your audience to respond to your call to actions. If you're constantly putting out content and you're constantly putting out call to actions that no one adheres to, it's time to shift and start telling stories, right? So again, I'm talking about 3 reasons your followers aren't buying from you and how to fix number 2 fast. The number 2 reason is you trained your audience to expect free. The fix is to use call to actions that actually convert. And here's the second fix. The second fix for this is to shift your mindset. Some of you, every time when I talked about selling, you froze. Your heart just sped up and you felt like, I don't want to do that. Like it's not going to work for me. Even when I read the 4 signs that you're afraid to sell, you were like, yep, that's me on every single part. But still, you have a mindset that's telling you not to sell. And that mindset is keeping you small. So what I want to do is help you to shift that. And that's by understanding what true selling is. Selling is really just service. That's all that it is. Selling is service. If you truly want to serve your audience, you let them know how you do that by offering an invitation. There are some of you in here where you're like, no, none of you are in here like this. I'm going to just tell you how I used to be. I used to be like this. I used to be the person where I was like, yeah, I'm just going to give everything away for free. I'm going to teach, I'm going to create the content, all that stuff, and I'm just going to wait on God to send the money. And boy, was that a bad mindset, because that mindset had me believing that God was just going to drop money from the ceiling and from heaven. But he does not do that. He had to stop me in my tracks. He said, the money that I'm sending to your business is coming from the pockets of the people who are following you. Okay, I'm going to say that one more time. The money that God is sending into your business is coming from the pockets of the people that are following you. And it's a legit way of doing it. God has shown me, he said, if I dropped $50,000 from the sky and I just gave it to you, and then you went and you invested it into a home, the IRS will ask you where you got this money from. And you can't tell them you got it from heaven because they're going to think you a drug dealer and you will get locked up because they want to know why they didn't get no taxes. Okay. But if God sends you $50,000 from someone's pocket or a couple of someone's pockets, guess what? You actually have proof that the money is coming in. And now you won't have any issues with the IRS. So while you're over here thinking, oh my goodness, I'm afraid to sell, God's actually sending people who want to buy from you. So I want to give you an example. Erica, when she joined my challenge, right? In 3 days, she made $750. But how did she make it? Because she had somebody who was ready to buy, but she did not know how to price her offer. She was afraid to price her offer. She was actually going to undersell her offer. She was like, I think I'm just going to charge $200. $200? The ticket for the challenge, for the VIP ticket, is $297. So she already invested $297 and she had the opportunity to make her money back and a profit. So I told her, instead of charging $200, tell them it's $750. That's it, $750. And she was scared. Now, Erica is a principal at a preschool. That's all she knew for a long time. But guess what? Erica was getting ready to retire. She was getting closer to retirement age. And she knew there's no way I'm going to be able to retire with the amount of money that's in my bank. All this time working my 9 to 5, now I'm getting closer to retire and it feels like I can't. So what did she do? Started a business. She started a business so she could be profitable, so that when she retires, she doesn't have to go back to work 5 years later. And so while she was in the challenge, I told her, if you're going to be profitable, you have to price to sell. So she charged the person $750 and she was nervous. She held her breath when she offered it. And you know what happened? The person bought. The person was like, oh, that's it. Okay. So where you think that your offer is a lot of money, God has people in your audience who's going to be like, that's it. You're quoting a $500 offer and there are people like, that's it. You're quoting a $10,000 offer and people are like, that's it. Come on now. You think it's high, but to the person who's ready to buy, that's it. Hey, Octavia, honey, how you doing? I remember when I was selling to my audience, I was selling to my email list. And I had someone reach out to me and say, hey, I'm ready to work with you. And I quoted her my price. I said, it's $10,000. She was like, that's it? I was like, oh, I went too low. And then I wanted to curse chat because chat was the one who gave me the price anyway. Right? So some of you are holding yourselves back, but your audience is ready to buy and they're ready to invest. So there was Erica in the challenge, make $750 in 3 days because I just told her, charge this much. One of the things that we do in the challenge is we look at your prices, and whatever you are charging for your price, we tell you to increase it if it's not high enough, because the value in what you're offering is so much more than what you're actually selling it for. Another person, Katrina, she actually, she was part of our challenge. So she was part of our challenge, but she ended up joining our monthly membership, right? And Katrina was afraid to sell. I mean, terrified to sell. And she had an offer, but she did not know how much to charge for it. And people were asking her, how much are you selling this for? And she was getting ready to undersell it, probably for $30 or something like that. And I told her, nope, charge this much. Do you know how much money she made? She made $350 in 9 minutes. $350 in 9 minutes. Okay? I told her, charge this much, send the text, and see what they say. She did it, and the people were like, yes, that's what I want. But it didn't stop there, because after she made the $350 in 9 minutes, she gained 2 more leads because the people who bought from her recommended her service to 2 other people. So she made $350 in 9 minutes and more money afterwards, because I told her we need to raise your price after this because that's too low, whatever we charge them. My point is, where you are over here nervous that people aren't ready to buy from you, there are people actually waiting in your audience ready to buy right now. You just need to price your offer to sell and tell them how. So where you're thinking, oh my goodness, I'm afraid to sell, if you just shift to believing that you're actually serving them, guess what? You'll be able to confidently sell and buy, and they'll buy from you. I know, because when I first started, I was petrified of selling. And when I was part of Myron's program, one thing he said, because Myron is a master seller. If you haven't seen any of his videos, I mean, the man is a genius. He's a master communicator. He's a master seller. It's amazing, right? But one thing he told us was selling is a skill. So the reason why some of you are afraid is because you haven't sharpened this skill yet. You think that it's supposed to just come naturally, but no, you actually have to get better at it. And better at it and better at it. And the more you get better at it, the more confident you become in selling. So that now when you're putting out your videos, it just slides right off. It oozes out of you, right? So if you're in here, you're like, I need help selling. My call to actions aren't converting. I still feel afraid when I'm selling. I feel icky when I'm selling. I need more help to overcome. Then DM me the word challenge accepted and join us in the challenge. Day 4 of the challenge is our main focus, showing you how to get out of your own way so you can sell Sell to your audience. I was going to say sell to your audience confident. Sell to your audience confidently. That's the goal, right? Okay. So if you're just joining us and you're watching me on TikTok right now, if you're outside the room, feel free to come on into the room. We don't bite, but this is where you're able to ask your questions, right? You can just double tap to come into the room. You can ask your questions if you have any questions. If any of you are tuning in on LinkedIn, if you're tuning in on YouTube and you have questions about your content, feel free to drop it in the chat and I will answer them for you, especially if you have been posting on social media for the last 4 months, the last 2 years, and you're not seeing a shift. You don't know why people aren't buying. You don't know why they're not engaging with you. Some of you in here, you're telling yourself, you know what? I feel like this will work if I was just consistent. I feel like this will work if I was just consistent. You can even write that in the chat, right? Because sometimes it's your inconsistency. Sometimes the reason why you're not consistent is because you just don't know what to post. That's it. You just don't know what to post. And so I want to show you how you can shift that. That's how we help you. Octavia, you are what? I missed it. You're saying that you are consistent with posting? Because if you are, congratulations, right? Okay. Oh, okay, good. Octavia says, I'm being consistent and people haven't been buying. Okay. Octavia, tell me what type of content are you putting out? Are you putting out educational content to let your audience know how you help them? Are you putting out a sales video a week to let them know how they can buy from you? Let me know, and then I will give you some shift because I have a feeling what the issue is. Typically, when you're putting out content and your audience isn't buying or responding, is because the messaging isn't strong. So let's see. Octavia said yes, and I go live every day. So you go live every day. Octavia, tell me again what you're selling, because chances are the messaging isn't strong. And when you go live, right? So there's a lot of you who think that people just get up and go live, right? But actually, when you go live, oh, workbook, got it. Okay. When you go live with your audience, there's actually a formula to selling on your videos, right? Like there's actually a formula that you need to follow when you're going live. And that's something that we show you inside the challenge too. We show you that on day 3 of the challenge because we show you how to produce a 6-figure content strategy, right? Okay, so Octavia, you're selling a workbook, but give me some more details. Because if your audience only hears that you're selling a workbook, then that's why they're not buying. But what does this workbook do? Like, what is the transformation that the workbook gets for your audience, right? Is this workbook showing them how to save money, save an extra $100 each month from their paycheck? Is this workbook showing them how they can land their dream job? Is this workbook showing them how they can have a better relationship with themselves? Like, what does this workbook do? And I want all of you to get into the habit of this. Whenever somebody asks you what you're selling, you don't just tell them coaching program. You don't just tell them a book. You don't just tell them a boot camp. You actually need to be talking about the result, the transformation. Because that's what people buy. They don't buy coaching programs. They don't buy books. They buy the transformation. So notice you can't see this here if you're watching on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Instagram. But on TikTok, if you notice, on my screen to my left, it says DM challenge accepted and learn how to create content that sells in 5 days or less, right? Notice that I didn't write DM challenge accepted and join us in the AI content to cash challenge because people wouldn't know what that is. So what am I doing? I'm leading with the transformation. DM challenge accepted and learn how to create content that sells in 5 days or less. That's how you want to get into the habit of speaking. Why? Because your audience is not in your head. They have no idea how you help them. So you actually have to tell them how you help them. Okay, Octavia says it's a faith-based book from toxicity mind to living a life more freedom and breakthrough. Okay, awesome. So here's what I want you to do, Octavia. I want you to take this language that you just wrote inside the chat and drop it into ChatGPT or whatever AI tool you like to use, and then ask chat, what does this look like? What does a toxicity mind look like? What does living more freedom look like? And what does breakthrough look like? And the reason why I'm telling you to do this is because what you just wrote in the chat is great, but it's too vague for your audience. So they have no idea what you're buying. When we are selling, the goal is to paint a picture in the minds of your audience. And from the words that's on this screen, there's no picture that's being painted, because a toxicity mindset could be anything. It could be a poverty mindset. It could be imposter syndrome. It could be lack of confidence. It could be abusive mindset. It could be a murderous mindset. It could be suicidal thoughts. Like, what does that mean? And we want to pinpoint exactly what the mindset is. Like, what are the thoughts that they have? Okay, if it's negative thoughts, if it's toxicity mindset, name 3 of the thoughts of what it could be. Yep, be more specific. You can give them 3 thoughts. Like, in this workbook, I'm going to help you go from a poverty mindset, from lacking confidence, from self-doubting to, right? Or I can say from self-doubting and any other toxicity mindset. That's how we like to word it. Why? Because we want to identify what the top 3 mindsets are. It could be self-doubting. It could be poverty mindset. It could be suicidal thoughts and any other toxicity mindset, so that now you're lumping it all together. And people are going, oh my goodness, I have suicidal thoughts. Oh my goodness, I have a poverty mindset. I didn't know it until you said it, right? You want people to self-identify. So that's the first part. The second part, living a life more freedom and breakthrough, right? These are very vague terms. What do I mean by that? Anyone who's listening right now, they can hear freedom and breakthrough, and anything could pop in their mind. Everyone will have a different meaning of what freedom and breakthrough means to them, which means that they may not buy because it's too vague. So the goal is to identify specifically, what is this freedom? Specifically, what is this breakthrough? So is it now they're going from a poverty mindset, suicidal thoughts, and lacking confidence to now being able to wake up in the morning and they feel excited again, being able to ask for a raise on their job, being able to pray and actually hear God speak. You see, these are now more specific situations that is painting the image in your audience mind, because that's what they want. You got to be able to clearly tell them, hey, this is what I'm helping you with, so that when they see it, they're like, yep, that's exactly what I need. Right? And so that, you're so welcome, Octavia. You're so welcome. But that's what we show you, right? I saw Keith and Vanessa pop in here. I don't know if you're still here, but that was one of the things that helped shift their brand when they went from speaking very vague to their audience to speaking very specific to their audience, so that now their audience can clearly see how they can help them. If anyone else is in here and you're like, my content isn't converting, please help me, Star. Feel free to drop that in the chat. Give me some more details so I can give you some feedback. We do this in a challenge all 5 days. Our goal is to audit your content. Our goal is to audit your messaging, so that when you're speaking directly to your dream clients, so that they can what? So that they can buy. Exactly. That's the goal, for them to buy. Because as a business owner, this is how we make our money. Okay. Hey, Magnolia, how you doing from Memphis, Tennessee? Thank you for joining us. Awesome. All right. So as business owners, we make our money by converting followers into buyers. As influencers, an influencer or a content creator who doesn't have a business, they can make their money from the platform and from brand deals. They can be as vague as they want in their content. But as the business owner, when you're developing trust, when you're building a relationship, your goal is to get your audience to say things like, oh my goodness, you're in my head. Oh my goodness, how did you know? That's your goal. But the only way that's going to happen is if you're super specific, right? All right. So again, I'm giving you 3 reasons your followers aren't buying from you. This is the opportunity for you to drop your questions in the chat if you have any questions. If you've been posting for 4 months consistently, but you're not seeing any conversions, just drop that in the chat so I can help you. If you've been posting for 2 years, your social media seems to be dead, you want to know how to fix it, drop that in the chat so I can help you. In the meantime, I'll give you the 3rd and final reason why your followers aren't buying, and that is because you're not creating urgency. You're not creating urgency. If your offer feels optional, it will be treated like background noise. If your offer feels like, oh, I could join next week, I could join tomorrow, I could join in a year, then people will not buy. I know it because I've experienced it, right? I've experienced it. I remember I used to host tea parties, right? So that's something new that y'all are hearing about me. But I used to host tea parties back in 2015 and 2016. And I had an organization called Big Sister Tea Party. Man, did I love hosting those tea parties. And those tea parties were every month. And when I first hosted the tea party, so many people came. The second time around, so many people came. But after time number 4, time number 5, time number 6, right? The numbers started to dwindle. Why? Because it was available every month. Now, I'm not saying that you got to stop doing what you're doing. I offer a monthly challenge. I do that every month. I've been doing it every month for 2 years, right? And there are some of you where you hear me talk about the challenge and you're like, I'm going to join next month. And you never join. Why? Because for you, you feel like you have an option. And that's how the people who are coming to the tea party felt. They felt like they had an option, right? And so what happened? Some people just never showed up. They kept going, I'm gonna come next month. But something else kept popping up for them because it wasn't urgent for them. So what happened? The tea party went away. The tea party went away. That's it. And the people who never showed up were like, oh my goodness, I really wanted to come. Because in their minds, they thought they had forever, right? And so what am I telling you? You got to create urgency with your content. Create urgency with your offers. You got to let your audience know this won't always be around. With my challenge, it won't always be around. Yeah, we've been hosting it for 2 years, but guess what? We've been offering different bonuses that expire when you don't sign up right away. When I first launched my challenge, we were offering a free call for the first 5 people to sign up for VIP. And what would happen? People would sign up for VIP, and by number 6, they didn't get that call. That call helped people to be able to transform their business in just 30 days. We showed you how to sell in those calls in just 30 days. And people will sign up right away because they wanted to be one of the first 5 people. When I got rid of that, people weren't signing up as fast anymore because what was the urgency, right? Some urgencies could be maybe there's going to be a price change. You're dropping your offer right now. It costs this much today. But if you don't buy today, the price is going to go up tomorrow. Urgency. So what type of urgency can you create in your content so that your audience can see this won't always be around? You don't have to do FOMO, by the way, fear of missing out. You don't have to do it with fear either. I'm not a fan of fear-based marketing. I'm a fan of faith-based marketing. And God said, I didn't give you the spirit of fear. So if he didn't give me the spirit of fear, I'm not going to project that on my audience either, right? But there is such thing called grace period. And you can tell your audience that there's a grace period right now. What do I mean by that? I'm going to take it way back, way back to Noah's Ark, right? So back in the day, God called Noah and he told Noah to build an ark. He said, it's going to rain on this earth. During that time, the people of the world never saw rain. There was no such thing as rain back then. So here they are thinking to themselves, rain? What are you talking about? What is that? We don't even know what that is. Because at that time, the way that the earth was being watered is that a mist will come up from the ground and water the crops and the grass. So water from heaven? What are you talking about? So all this time, here's Noah building his ark, and everyone's making fun of him and laughing at him. I like to think that he finished building the ark in 2 years, and then the rest of the 100 years was just people making fun of him and him just looking at God like, hello, the ark is done. I don't think it took him 100 years to build that ark, right? So there he was, built the ark, waiting around for this so-called water from heaven that we've never seen before. And then one day, it starts to rain. And what happens? Noah gets in the ark with his family and some animals, and then the door of the ark closes. And now the people outside of the ark is getting rained on. But guess what? The rain doesn't stop. It rains for 40 days and 40 nights, and it completely floods the earth. So here's what happened. When God told Noah to build the ark, there was a grace period for over 100 years. A grace period. Do you see that? Every day people waking up and thinking, I have more time. Oh my goodness, I have more time. I have so much time. But what happens when grace runs out? Judgment comes. There are some of you in here, and it don't got to be my coaching program, but there are some of you in here where God already told you what coach to work with. He already showed you the person who's going to help you. And what did you do? Oh, I'll just wait till next month. And now it's been 3 months and you still haven't worked with that person. Guess what's going to happen? Grace is going to run out. That's how you create urgency with your audience. Let them know this is not always going to be this way. Right. And so I want some of you are in here, you're like, I don't know how to create the urgency. That's okay. I'm going to give you this prompt that will create the urgency for you. So if you're using ChatGPT, you're using Claude, you're using Centra, just use this prompt right here. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm displaying it on the screen for you. If you're watching on LinkedIn and Instagram, you can see it displayed on the screen for you. On TikTok, I can't drop it in the chat. You're just going to have to write it, or you're going to have to watch the replay on YouTube, right? But this is the prompt that you can drop into your AI tool, whether it's Claude, Centra, ChatGPT, or Stanley. Stanley is a new AI tool that I've been using, and I love it. Oh my goodness. I'll probably do a live specifically on AI tools, and I'll walk you through Stanley, but that one is through StanStore. Oh my goodness, it's amazing, hands down. My content is already performing better just from using it. Okay, so here is the prompt. Write three short phrases I can use to create urgency for my name your offer, right? So I'm going to read it one more time. Write three short phrases I can use to create urgency for my name your offer. The goal is to make people take action today, not later. The goal is to make people take action today, not later. Keep it clear, confident, and natural. No hype, no false scarcity, right? I'm very big on integrity. So I don't like telling people the price is going to go up if the price is not going to go up, because that's a lie. I don't like telling people that this offer is going to disappear if I know I'm still going to be promoting it next month, because that's a lie. So instead, I do different things to create this urgency with my audience, right? Okay, I'm going to read it again for you. For those of you who are taking notes, write three short phrases I can use to create urgency for my name your offer. The goal is to make people take action today, not later. Keep it clear, confident, and natural. No hype, no false scarcity. And that's the prompt. Take that, drop it into your AI tool. Your AI tool will create the urgency for you when you go live, when you put out your videos, when you write your captions, when you send your emails. Use those urgency prompts so that you can urge your audience to take action today. If they think that they can wait around, guess what? Then they're not going to take action today. And the goal is for them to take action today. No, you're not forcing them. No, you're not convincing them. If you start feeling like you're convincing your audience to buy, then you're doing it wrong. We don't convince, we persuade. Persuade means that they already made the decision to buy. You're just showing them how they can buy from you. That's it. Convincing means that they didn't make the decision yet and you're trying to force it on them. That's why some of you feel like you feel weird selling, because you're constantly convincing. Well, you should be persuading. Hey, Umbrella, how you doing? All right. So if you've been here this long and you're like, Star, this was amazing. Those are the three reasons your followers aren't buying from you. I showed you how to fix each one of those reasons and how to fix number 2 really fast. Again, the 3 reasons are you're motivating but not monetizing, which means you're always inspiring your audience, but you're never telling them how they can buy from you. That's the first reason. The second reason is you've trained your audience to expect free. You're releasing so many freebies. You're only sending one email to your email list per month. You're not actually putting out sales videos so your audience can buy from you. I showed you how to shift that. And you're not creating urgency in your content. That's the third reason. I just gave you an AI prompt so that you can actually start creating urgency in your content. Now, if you're in here and you're like, Star, this was amazing. I loved all the information that you shared with me today, but you're not really sure where to get started. You still don't know what to say in your videos to get your audience to buy from you. You still don't know what content to create that grows your following. And you're still not sure how you can sell your high ticket offer to premium buyers on social media. Then join us in the AI Content to Cash Challenge. In the challenge, our goal is to show you how to create content that sells in 5 days or less. We show you how to use AI tools to help you to create the content faster. The prompt that I just shared with you is only one of the prompts that we share, but we share so much more in the challenge. Why? Because our goal is to get you from making 8 to 10K months to 20K, 30K, 40K months. If you're in here and you haven't hit 20K months yet, if you're in here, you've hit 10K months one time and you haven't hit it again, then join us in the challenge because that's where we help you. If you are a coach and right now you're using social media and you've already grown your following, but you're not sure how to convert them into customers, then join us in the challenge because the challenge is for you. When Kelly joined us, she already had 30,000 followers on Instagram, and she did not know how to convert them into customers. So we showed her how to sell to her audience. What was the result? She got 6 new clients in 1 month. That's it. Just as simple as that because she already had a following. Some of you in here, you already have a following. You have 10,000 followers. You have 5,000 followers. You have 40,000 followers. And we can show you how to convert them into customers when you join us in a challenge. The challenge is also for the business owner where you are accustomed to getting sales through word of mouth and referrals. So you're a business owner or a service provider. You're accustomed to getting sales through word of mouth and referrals, and you want to know how you can use social media and video marketing in order to reach a larger audience and sell to them, right? Your goal isn't just to sell. Your goal is also for you to build a loyal audience so that every time you release an offer, you have a platform. Some of you, you desire to build a community, a tribe of like-minded people so that you can be able to help them. That's what we show you in the challenge. When Dr. Karen joined us, she did not know how to create the content that's going to reach her realtors so she can show them how to build how to make 6 figures in a year or less. And we showed her exactly how to do that. Today, she's still selling her 21-day boot camp so that realtors can actually learn this. That's the type of impact that you get to make. And she's accustomed to getting sales through word of mouth and referrals because she's a real estate broker. And lastly, the challenge is for the successful coach or business owner where sales is not your issue. You already built your business to 50K months. You built your business to 7 figures. But your biggest issue is that you're making impact in your local community, but not on a larger scale. And you're ready to do it on a larger scale. You should be on bigger stages speaking. You should be invited to conferences as the keynote speaker. You should be on high profile podcasts, but you do not know how to get there. It starts on social media. But the only way you'll be able to start doing this is if you get some help. You could try to figure it out on your own, or you can work with us and we can actually show you. If you're like, that's me, I want to know how I can make this shift. I want to know how I can get help with my social media marketing so that I can actually reach my audience and make an impact. DM me the word challenge accepted. I'll personally send you an invite to the challenge so that you can join us on September 8th. That's when the challenge is kicking off. If you are on YouTube, the link is displayed on the screen because I won't be able to DM it to you so you can actually get access to it. Again, we have 2 levels. We have VIP and we have the Diamond Experience. For the VIP, the first 5 people to sign up will get access to the AI Content Generator Pro. This Content Generator Pro does several things. It writes your video scripts for you. It writes your carousels too, because we had a client use it for her carousels. It writes your hooks. It writes your captions. It writes whatever it is you want it to write. It writes your content ideas for you so that you don't have to think about it on your own. That's what it does. And if some of you were in here when I was helping Octavia to be really specific in her language, it does that too. Because the goal is for you to be able to create content that sells, not content that gets overlooked. But again, the AI Content Generator Pro only goes to the first 5 people who signs up. If you're number 6 who signs up for VIP, you won't get access to it. All right. Okay, so that's for VIP. The diamond experience is only for the business owners who value exclusivity. So you don't just want to be in the room, but you want to feel elite. You want special attention. When you sign up for a diamond experience, you're able to get access to a one-on-one elite content strategy session with me as early as tomorrow. We don't wait. Our goal is to help you to accelerate. And in order for you to get to accelerate quickly, you have to implement right away. So we send you the link to join us for the call right away when you sign up as Diamond Experience. Now, again, with the challenge is live. It is not pre-recorded. So you won't be sitting in a Facebook group asking your questions on Facebook. You will be with me and my team on Zoom asking your questions. We will be looking at your videos that you're posting on social media, and we'll be auditing it for you in real time so that you will know what to shift. The goal of the challenge is for you to have my eyes. We train you to have my eyes so that now when you're putting out the content, you're putting out the content that actually converts and doesn't get overlooked. You're putting out the content that actually grows your platform so that you can make an impact as opposed to putting out content that barely anyone sees. That is the goal. So if you're like, that's me, I need that. This is the last call for the challenge today. DM me the word challenge accepted. Send me your email address and I'll send you the invite. The reason why I ask for your email is because sometimes you don't see my DM. On TikTok specifically, you can't click the website when I send it to you. But if you send me your email, I can email you the access to the challenge. Now, when you get access to the challenge, make sure you join. Don't just look at it and be like, that's not for me. If you are thinking that in 30 days you want to be able to start getting leads every time you post, you want to get 30 leads a month, you want to get 300 leads a month, you got to get started today. Some of you keep telling yourself, I'll do it next month because I'm going on vacation. I'll do it next month because I have clients. I'll do it next month because I'm doing this. But guess what's happening? The longer you push it off, the harder it becomes for you to hit your result. The harder it becomes for you to hit your goal, because all you're doing is you're pushing off what you desire to hit. If you're desiring, I want to grow my following. If you don't join today, in 30 days, you'll still be in the same place. If you're desiring, I want to be able to hit 20K months. If you don't join today, you're pushing it off for another 30 days. It's not magic. It is just a moment where you make a decision and say, this is my time. I'm ready to start. All right. I'm going to be back again tomorrow. My last live for the week is why my business stopped growing and what finally fixed it. That's tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. I go live on all of my platforms so that I can be able to help you. I'll see some of you on my live tomorrow. I'll see the rest of you in the challenge. Y'all have a great day.